Hey guys, your boy Marc back. NXT 28th of January 2025 review. Um, and Good news, I actually stayed up and watched the entire event this time. I didn't fall asleep past, when it was on. Got all my notes here for the review so I can give you guys a full review of tonight's episode of NXT. Yeah. Woke up 30 minutes before the show. Yeah, I had trouble sleeping again. Um, uh, you know, um, but like I was wondering, should I even be reviewing these NXT shows, any of these shows? NXT, SmackDown, Raw. I've been reviewing them, and I was wondering, should I even be reviewing them? Because I keep falling asleep, waking up late, you know, and I end up not even reviewing the whole show really, just because I was asleep during most of it as it was happening live. This time, I kind of preyed on it, sort of. I asked, I was kind of wondering. No, I don't know how else to say it, but the fact that I did fall asleep still eventually, even though I'd pretty stressful like trying to sleep. I woke up 30 minutes before the show started, so that means that God wants me to, or at the very least is okay with me reviewing these shows. Gotta say, as an international viewer, they do put NXT and SmackDown on Netflix. And I haven't been able to watch them on traditional TV in forever. I've had to resort to, watchwrestling.net, etc., those type of websites. So I've just been so grateful to being able to review NXT, SmackDown, Raw for you guys. I got a very important message at the very end of this review, though. But without further ado, we'll get on to my review. NXT 28th January 2025. There's actually no ads during the matches because international Netflix. There's like an audio cutout thing, and then we get the full thing. Opening match, NXT Women's Champion Julia. That's how it's pronounced. Julia, like Julia Roberts, not spelt that way, of course, but NXT Women's Champion Julia and Bayley versus Roxanne Perez and Cora Jade. There was this funny thing during commentary that kind of seemed to go throughout the whole show. One of the guys on commentary kind of said, Corey Graves, the commentator Corey Graves, Cora Jade, Corey Graves, they kind of sound alike, those names. And then I swear that the other, I don't know his name, but the other, commentator guy just kept calling him Cora throughout the whole thing. At least that's what it sounded like to me. I don't know if I'm hearing things or something like that. They did point out, the similarity in their names, Cora Jade, Corey Graves. That I thought was interesting. There was awesome roll-up counters between Julia and I put it in a bunch of question marks. I can't, even when I wrote these notes, obviously, I couldn't remember if it was Roxanne or Cora that she was trading those awesome roll-up counters with. But I do remember they were like these funny counters between Julia and Roxanne Perez. They were both screaming. Julia at first was kind of screaming a bit, and then Roxanne started screaming like a little girl. That was pretty funny. I mean, she is a girl, but you know what I mean. There was and Bayley, Bayley's first NXT match since 2020. I think 2020. That's what they said, right, on the commentary. But yeah, Roxanne Perez did like a kind of Bayley's hugger gimmick, kind of throwback thing. Um, like a shot towards Bailey, and then did like a moonsault thing. Now there was this really cool like moonsault moment that Roxanne did to Bailey, but Cora was the legal person, so she tagged in. That was a cool moment. Um, the match ended with Bailey doing the elbow onto Cora Jade, pinning Cora Jade for the victory. So yeah, after this we get a Eddie, what's his name? Eddie Thorne, whatever his name is, basically doing a promo saying, "I will not be an afterthought like my ancestors," or something like that. Nobody cares, man. I was thinking something like that. Eddie Thorne. I didn't even remember his name, to be honest. I know it's Eddie, but that's it. Next, we got the Grayson Waller effect. Grayson Waller and Austin Theory, with special guest, the NXT champion, Obafemi. Pretty great promo segment. You had, because this was in Atlanta, you had Austin Theory being an Atlanta native, so the crowd loved him, of course. You had, they're like, "You've been in NXT 2 years, and already you're at the top. Longest reigning NXT North American champion, and now you're the NXT champion." And then they basically talked about success, and then, like, hey, and then Austin Theory was like, "Hey, I've already done 3 WrestleManias." And then Obafemi was like, "Hey," and then because they were kind of taking shots at him, and he was like, "Hey, now you guys were an NXT champion." And then, there's a bunch of other stuff from this promo I'm probably forgetting, but the crowd was chanting at Austin Theory, "Turn on Grayson, turn on Grayson," and I didn't even know what they were saying until Grayson said, "No, don't turn on me," and then he literally turned his back on him, kind of sort of reminiscent of Raw after WrestleMania 29 when John Cena did that heel turn thing a little bit, and then he literally did heel turn, like with his heel, and then this is like Austin literally turning his back on Grayson. And then Obafemi was like talking about, oh, speaking of which, Monsieur McMahon. But yeah, and then he kind of like offered like I think he offered like, "Hey, well, which of you guys want a shot at my NXT championship?" Then we get a kind of simultaneous double screen of Trick Williams backstage, and he's all pissed off because he figured he was supposed to be in line for his like rematch clause, I guess. Then we see him kind of marching towards, and then he gets pissed off, and then he's like, "That title's mine," and then Rumble. That'll be what the end part of my review will be about, the important message I gotta say to you guys at the end. And then Trick, "Hey, that title's supposed to be mine." That's what Trick says to Oba. And then he ends up attacking Grayson and Austin Theory. And out of nowhere, Oba just does a sick-ass powerbomb, pop-up powerbomb, out of nowhere to Trick Williams, which was really cool of Oba. And then the next match, Trick Williams versus Wes Lee. Obviously, Trick is already hurt from the powerbomb that Obafemi gave him. There's a pre-match interview between Ridge Holland and Stax. Doesn't that seem funny that like in like mafia movies and all that, there's always a guy I mean, his name is not Tony Stax, but I kind of have a feel like there's always like a mafia guy named Tony Stax, and they say it like that. You know what I mean? Just something observed. I said this with a bunch of friends, you know. Anyway, there's a Ridge and Stacks. There was a lady, I forgot her name, but she was like doing an interview, and Ridge was like being rude to her. Then Stacks was like, "Hey, you don't talk to a lady like that," or something like that. Then we get to Trick Williams versus Wesley. Wesley obviously taking advantage of the fact that not Oba, that Trick was just hurt by Obafemi. Did this really cool like kind of knee move on Trick onto the announce table. That was a really cool move. Wesley actually ends up winning this match, but via disqualification because Trick Williams was really getting emotional. He was getting angry, I guess, because of the NXT championship shot that he felt he was owed. I didn't. Maybe there was something I missed. You know, there was some involvement things. You know that were. But anyway, a match is announced for Vengeance Day. That's gonna be Obafemi versus Austin Theory versus Grayson Waller for the NXT Championship in a triple threat. Made official by Ava. By the way, Ava looking very pretty tonight, just saying. And then Trick is all pissed off and he's like, what did they do to deserve a match? What about me? I haven't even gone my rematch clause yet. Or maybe someone else did that. But it was like, hey, your behavior, unacceptable. That's why you're not getting that championship shot. I don't think she said that, but basically the gist of what she was saying. Like, then we get to the NXT Women's North American Championship match. We have Fallon Henley versus Shotzi. Shotzi's leg was hurt. There was this really awesome, like, loud bang with her leg onto the ring post. That was cool. Good counters in this match. Ultimately, Fallon Henley gets the victory. Yeah. And then Stephanie Vaquer versus Fallon Henley is made official for Vengeance Day. And then we get Kaylani Jordan and Carmen something backstage. Basically last week, Carmen was like thanking Kaylani for what she perceived as her coming out for her. I don't know if I saw this part. I didn't even remember what happened on NXT last week. Besides the Oba Eddie match, which I really enjoyed. Or maybe that was 2 weeks ago. And then Kaylani Jordan was basically being an a-hole, being like, what? I didn't go out for you. I hate Jada. And I went out there for me. Then she basically just told her off. And then when Kaylani Jordan walked off, Carmen was like, what a bitch. And then for Vengeance Day, again, another match made official. Julia versus Bayley versus Roxanne Perez for the triple threat for the NXT Women's Championship. Nice. 2 triple threat match for both the NXT Championships. Nice. Then we get Ethan Page versus Cedric Alexander. I guess last week Cedric Alexander had his hand hurt by Ethan Page. Again, I probably didn't see this part. You had Ethan work on the injured head, and Cedric Alexander, far out. I've been watching him in WWE since like 2016, 2017. Safe to say that this guy probably isn't ever going to main event WrestleMania. But it was a decent match. He put on against Ethan Page. It's crazy to see him all gruffy looking and all that. Yeah, and yeah, and all hairy and all that. But yeah, it was a cool match. Then we go on to the main event, the women's tag team championship match. Bianca and Naomi defending against Lash Legend and Jakara Jackson. I kept thinking Sakara Jackson for some reason. You see J straight written over an S. Jakara Jackson, not a bad, pretty good match too. Awesome moonsault by Lash Legend at one point. Then her at Bianca did a double kip up at the same time. Some close calls. You had Bianca break up a pin right at the last second. That was great. I actually thought it was kind of over there for a second. And then Jakara almost got a roll-up victory on Naomi. Right at the last second, Naomi counters. And then her and I was about to say Sakara. Her and Bianca do like a double kiss of death KOD onto Jakara Jackson for the 1, 2, 3. And yeah, they retain the titles. Good main event. Yeah, pretty good main event. And now and that was my review of NXT, but now here's the important message I wanted to give you guys. I want to say to you guys. Okay. So you guys know that I need John Cena to win the Royal Rumble badly. But I gotta tell you the truth. That promo last night with CM Punk and Cody Rhodes has really gotten into my head since last night. I've been reviewing every NXT, every SmackDown, every Raw, and I appreciate the support you guys have been giving these reviews. Thank you. That being said, if John Cena doesn't win the Rumble, I will crash out hard. I will be beyond upset. I don't even want to picture how I'll be. But if John Cena doesn't win the Royal Rumble, then I am not going to be doing these reviews of Raw, NXT, SmackDown anymore. I'll be far too upset. And it doesn't matter who else wins. I don't have a second choice for this. So, I'm telling you guys straight up the truth. Yeah. So, the song Don't Stop Believing by Journey. Been listening to that a lot because of The Sopranos, but also because I've been trying so hard to manifest John Cena winning the Royal Rumble. He would tie Stone Cold Steve Austin if he does win the Royal Rumble, which is what I want badly, and of course he would go on to challenge for the 17th. I know I've put that 17th World Championship on a crazy pedestal for years. It'll be coming up 10 years since I've been first saying that I've been wanting John Cena to get that 17th. So that's the important thing. I want to tell you guys, if John Cena doesn't win the Royal Rumble, you're not going to get a review of NXT next week. You're not going to get a review of Raw after Royal Rumble. You're not going to get a review of SmackDown anymore. So, yeah. But that's going to be my review, y'all. Hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you for watching. Remember what I said. Peace out, y'all. Have a good one.